Hi Aries, welcome to your July love reading and welcome to my channel Luna Sync Tarot. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. I do lunar readings and love readings for the elements and the signs for each month. Also check out my pick a card readings. Hey, I've already shuffled your cards, so let's sync up. Let's get right in here. The overall energy that I see here is that there is a block or a resistance to a new perspective, to some sort of transformation, to some sort of change. There's a resistance to taking some time out, pausing, surrendering to this new perspective, to this transition, to this change. And it's coming from both you and your love interest. There could be that there's a few ways this could play out. This is a general reading, but I'm going to throw out some scenarios here. It could be that your relationship needs to take a pause or is taking a pause, and it's a difficult thing for both of you to experience. It's like you both, you kind of know that you need to take a break, but you don't want to take a break. There is the Hanged Man in the case of you and what you are contributing to the relating is about surrendering. It's about putting whatever action is going on in your life on hold so that you can gain a new perspective on what you truly value, what is truly valuable to you. This is your partner, your love interest. It's death in reversed. So death in reversed really implies that there's some sort of deep, massive change, maybe internal transformation, a shedding of the skin of some sort that needs to take place, that your partner is not totally connected with and is blocked to or is resisting in some way. Now, if this is about your relationship, it means to me that something is changing about the way that you're relating to one another. It could be that your relationship itself is experiencing a change. It could be that it's on its way out, that it's over in some way. There's something about your relationship that is over if it's not the relationship in and of itself. It's also something that is, you're not quite connecting to, like you either are resisting it, you don't want it to happen. This change is not something that you are looking forward to, that you want to manifest in your relationship. There's just a block and a resistance around this change. I don't know what this change is for you in the relationship that you are thinking about during the month of July. I don't know what magnitude it is taking on, if it's actually the death of the relationship or if there's some sort of major change inside of the way that the relationship functions. But there is a change that's at play here, and there is a block around it, and the block is coming from both of you, and it might be manifesting in different ways. In the position of the combined energy, we have the High Priestess again in reverse. The High Priestess is all about, the sacred feminine, the divine feminine energy. It's about compassion and empathy. It's about collaboration versus competition. It's about feeling rather than thinking. The High Priestess is about connecting with your inner wisdom, with your intuition in order to get the answers, right? So the answers for this situation are going to come from within. You can't rationalize your way out of this situation, or you can't resolve this issue through rationalization. The way that you find the answers around whatever this issue is for you and your partner is by getting quiet, taking some time out, connecting with your feelings, with your emotions, and connecting with your intuition, getting very still. The answers are going to come from within. But because the High Priestess is in reverse, I see that this is also, I mean, in order to get connected with your intuition and your emotions, you do need to take a time out and be quiet and be still. And that is what you're resisting. You're resisting that here in the reverse Hangman, where it really asks you to take a time out and to surrender and to get into alignment with your values, to get into alignment with, to get into the flow, right? But it's blocked. Over here it's blocked. This transformation that needs to happen in whatever way, and you'll know what it means, is also blocked by your partner. They are also resisting this. And the High Priestess begs of you to take some time out and listen to your intuition so that you can find the answers that you need to move through this major change, to surrender and to get into an alignment with your values and to get into alignment with the natural flow, to get into the flow. Finally, in the position of the outcome, or what needs to be integrated and understood, is the Chariot, and this is upright. So I'm going to back up and say that if you haven't noticed, these are all major arcana cards, which suggests that whatever's happening here is major. It is significant and major, and it does speak of change, like a major change in your life. The forces at play here are fundamental. So in the position of the outcome, or what needs to be understood and integrated, is the Chariot. There's a few things I'd like to say about this card here, and that is that she is looking at the High Priestess. In order for this thing to move forward successfully, you will need to take some time out and to get connected with how you feel. This is the way that you come into alignment with your values. Once you come into alignment with your values, you get into the flow, right? Instead of like resisting the current, you flow with the current of this energy. So the Chariot is all about moving something forward successfully, but it requires willpower, strength, determination, and focus. And because she's looking directly at the High Priestess, it is all hinging on your ability to take some time out and to really get connected with how you feel and your inner wisdom. So if you are able to do that, I see a successful outcome for this. The Chariot card is no, it's not a trifling card, right? It's serious. It's success. It's achievement. It's moving forward. It is, it's a card of great strength and great power. It will take willpower, but with willpower, you will be able to push past these obstacles that are presented at the beginning of this reading, between the energy that you and your partner are contributing, your love interest are contributing to your connection in July. It could also speak, the Chariot card could also speak to actual travel. There could be a road trip in your future that helps you possibly take some time out or just facilitates this process in some way. You will have to make the decision. Like I said, I know I'm repeating this over and over again, but I think it's important. You will have to make the decision to do something to get back in alignment with the values of your relationship or your own personal values in order to move forward. All right, let us get some clarification cards here, because this is kind of an intense reading. What is this thing that you're both resisting? Like, what was the conflict? What was like the root of the issue here? I feel like there was some sort of conflict. Comparison. Let's pull a few more. It's comparison in reverse. We have a lot of contrary cards here. I feel like there was some sort of conflict. Inner voice. There's the High Priestess again. coming up. Let's pull one more card, clarifying card, for whatever this thing is that has put you into this position of resistance or blocking surrender, blocking this change, this transformation. The Fool. The Fool is in a very similar position as the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, though, is chained, and the Fool is not chained. The Fool is actually very free and falling, almost about to free fall through the air off of this cliff. I feel like you and your partner were dealing with comparison issues. So maybe there was a feeling of like, I don't know that we're a good match, or that we can work this out because you're so different. I'm not like you. You're a bamboo reed and I'm an oak tree, and we're just too different to sort of work this thing out. There's a lot of comparison happening here. Obviously, it's comparison. It is in the traditional tarot deck. It's the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is about conflict. The number 5 is about conflict and change. So we know that there's a change happening here. We know that there's at least internal conflict. There's resistance. And it seems to be based in some sort of energy of comparison, like we're too different, or we're not enough alike, or you don't get me, you don't understand me because we're so different, or like this othering, like when you get into that energy of othering, like I feel separate from you, you are other than me, I can't relate to you. So there's kind of an inability to relate because of this distancing that seems to be taking place on a psychological, mental level. And that is absolutely to imply that it's not actually based in reality. The reality is that we are more alike than we are different, and that we are, whether we like it or not, all connected in very intimate ways and very basic ways. So these 3 cards are clarifying these 2 cards. I said my piece about comparison. The Fool, let's draw on the likenesses between the Fool and the Hanging Man. Very, very similar postures. One is chained, one is falling through the sky in a very trusting and open and willing way. The Fool is really the energy that you need to step into in order to get back into alignment with your essence. The Fool is very innocent, very open, very willing to experience life. The Fool is not bound by their experience. Right? So sometimes we'll collect all of these experiences as we move through life, and they become like baggage. They become like these chains that have bound the Hanging Man. And they inform us in ways that are not always useful to our true values, to our future pursuits and endeavors. And so the Fool is free of this baggage. The Fool in that way is very wise, moving through life in a way that is baggage-free. Like you have this experience and then you let it go. You learn this thing and then you let it go. And you continue to accept and let go, accept and let go. And there's a energy and a flow to that the Fool uses to inform every decision that they make in their lives. And so I get the sense that there is a need to step into, to surrender, to let go, to accept what is happening here, and to step into the flow with an open heart, with a lot of trust and a lot of faith. Let go of your experience. Let go of what you think you know. so that you can get back into flow and move through this time of conflict and change effectively. And then finally, we pulled this inner voice card, which is the High Priestess card, but it's in the upright. I do get a sense that you will be able to get connected with the way that you feel about this, get connected with your inner intuition, your inner wisdom. If you can, take a break, go somewhere, travel somewhere, possibly by yourself, take some time for yourself. Literally remove yourself from the situation, literally go somewhere else so that you can gain a new perspective and you can take the time that you need to get connected with how you feel about this thing. All right, we got 4 minutes. Let's pull a medicine card, just more guidance for you. As these cards are all messed up. More guidance for you as you navigate this kind of a tricky situation here in July in terms of your love life. So, can we have some advice or some guidance for Aries as they navigate this situation? What do they need to know? How can they best work through this conflict and change? How can they surrender and get connected with their emotions, get back into the flow, get in alignment with their values, their personal values? Raven. Raven is about magic. The Raven. Throughout time, Raven has carried the medicine of magic. This has been true in many cultures across the planet. It is sacred, in the medicine ways, to honor Raven as the bringer of magic. If the magic is bad medicine, the carrier may be honored out of fear rather than out of respect. Those who fear Raven may do so because they have been dabbling in areas in which they had no knowledge, and a spell may have backfired on them. Rather than analyzing the dark side of sorcery, realize that you will fear Raven only if you need to learn about your inner fears or self-created demons. Raven magic is a powerful medicine that can give you the courage to enter the darkness of the void, which is the home of all that is not yet in form. The void is called the Great Mystery. Great Mystery existed before all other things came into being. Great Spirit lives inside the void and emerged from the Great Mystery. Raven is the messenger of the void. If Raven appears in your spread, you are about to experience a change in consciousness. Absolutely. This may involve walking inside the Great Mystery on another path at the edge of time. It would portend a signal brought by the Raven that says you have earned the right to see and experience a little more of life's magic. Raven's color is the color of the void, the black hole in space that holds all the energy of the creative source. And that's awesome. It may be a time to call Raven as a courier to carry an intention, some healing energy, a thought, or a message. Raven is the patron of smoke signals or spirit messages represented by smoke. So if you want to send a message to the Blue Road of Spirit in order to contact the ancients, call Raven. Or, who knows, the ancients may be calling to you. Remember, this magic moment came from the void of darkness, and the challenge is to bring it to light. In doing so, you will have honored the magician within. That's beautiful. So getting connected with your intuition, taking a time out, really is like getting connected with the subconscious mind, with the darkness inside of you, and bringing that information to light so that you can move forward. The magician comes right before the high priestess, and I only bring that up because this description in the Raven mentioned the inner magician. So the magician and the priestess are sort of two sides of the same coin. The magician gets connected with their inner resources, inner talents, inner abilities, and manifests that into the world. And the high priestess does a very similar thing by going within and finding the information and sharing the information. It's like this exchange between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. All right, Aries, I hope that was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed this July love reading. If you did, hit the like button so that it can circulate amongst others. You can follow me on Instagram at LunaSync, and also remember to subscribe to my channel so that you can get regular updates about lunar and love readings for the elements in each sign for each month. I hope you have a beautiful July. Take good care.